considered that you have the power to transform your experience with men in dating, love, and relationships simply through the words that you speak and the thoughts that you think? I'm going to take some thoughts today based upon the wonderful book by Don Miguel Ruiz called The Four Agreements. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the first agreement. My name is Michelle Marchant Johnson with Love Life Coaching, and I'm here to help you be that woman of high value who attracts your high quality man. Now, this wonderful book by Don Miguel Ruiz, The Four Agreements, is a very well-known book. And Don's premise here is that if you live your life in harmony with these four agreements, it literally has the ability to transform your experience in life in a very positive and powerful way. Today, I'm going to give you a little bit of my interpretation on the four agreements, specifically as it pertains to your love life. And this will be the first in a four-part series because I'll do one video on each of the four agreements. So the first agreement is called Be Impeccable with Your Word. And he defines that as speak with integrity, say only what you mean, avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So oftentimes when we think about being impeccable with our word, we think about being honest, we think about being in integrity with how we show up in life, that we honor our commitments, that we honor what people are relying on us to do, what we've said we will do. And that is certainly a part of it. We're honest in our communications, we're truthful. But I think it goes even beyond that. Now, in the book, Don defines being impeccable as being without sin. And so he says that when we speak words in a direction, in a negative direction or in a negative way, we're actually creating something, and we're creating sin against ourselves and others. He said that when we speak our words, we're actually creating. It's a creative process. We're putting something out there in the world that creates something very real. And I believe this, and this is why with my private clients in my Meet Him and Keep Him private coaching program and in my group membership program, Mr. Wright Academy, I always encourage the women there to speak in the direction of what they want, to focus on saying the things that they want and speaking in positive terms about themselves, about what they want, about the kind of man that they want to be with, because I actually do believe that there's a lot of power in our words. And I actually think it's really important to be able to speak into what you truly desire in terms of your love life and your relationship. And I've shared that for me when I was single, if I had a whole vision statement of what I wanted, but in one sentence it was, I will meet and marry the man of my dreams. That was the simple creative process that I made with my words. And that became not only a statement for me, but it became something that felt not only possible, but even inevitable as I created that in my words. And he also says that in the book that when we speak words, we basically can cast a spell. He calls it a spell on ourselves, or we can cast a spell upon others. He even refers to the negative words that we speak, or the gossip that we speak, or the talking about people in a negative way that we speak as black magic. And we can perform this black magic on ourselves or on others based on the words that we speak. So for an example of this for ourselves might be if we allow ourselves to speak words even in our mind with our thoughts that are negative about ourselves, like I'm too old, I'm too fat, I'm not enough this, I'm too much that, I've missed my chance, the kind of man that I want is not going to want me, whatever those thoughts are, that are negative, that take you into a negative spell. Because when we are speaking those words, our mind often can begin to believe them to the point that it creates that reality for us. We start to develop a confirmation bias, and our belief becomes stronger and stronger until that's what we see. An example of this with men might be, let's just say you're with a group of women and maybe one or two of the women have had recent dating experiences or a breakup or a heartache or some kind of betrayal or disappointment from a man, and the conversation begins with a group of women, which can be a bonding experience, and other women can feel like they're being supportive, but it can turn into a man-bashing experience where women together are talking about the negative qualities of men, and then we start to see men as a whole in a negative way rather than as individuals. We start to see them as guilty rather than innocent, and we start to experience men that way. This perception starts to feel like the reality. In the book, Don talks about Hitler and how with his language and with the words that he used and the way that he described the Jewish people, as he spoke these words and expressed these things over and over again, people began to accept those words as being truthful and valid. And it was like black magic. It was like a spell that he cast over them, because that became a false sense of reality for many people. So he gives that example in the book. And so I believe that in our love lives, and if we want to experience more powerful and effective relationships, this be impeccable with our word can be really, really key in the overall experience that you have. Saying only what you mean in terms of like what you lead someone to believe in a relationship. So in other words, you don't allow someone to believe something that is not really backed up by your feelings. So if you sense that, for example, that a man has a lot deeper feelings for you than you have for him, and that's something that you're not sure is going to move in that direction, at a certain point it becomes an obligation to speak in terms of truth about that, so that he's not under a spell of believing something that's not true. So there's a lot of different directions to go with this, and it could be potentially a long conversation, but I just wanted to bring this to your attention because I believe this principle is really, really powerful in our dating lives, in our romantic lives, in all of our relationships, in all of life. And I really love this book. I have no affiliate position with this book. I'm just sharing this because as I reread this book recently, I just thought how powerful these principles are for women and men in our love lives. And so this is the first of this 4-part series. I'll be doing a video on agreement 2, 3, and 4, and I'll see you in a future video. If you have a comment or question, please leave it below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Sending you love and blessings and encouraging you to be impeccable with your word. Bye for now.